The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Greetings and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. My name is Paul Solano of the PS&L Marketing Group, and I want to thank you for listening to Paul Ponders on ATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. Now, as you know, I wear another hat as general manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant in Malden, and a huge shout out to Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick and his culinary team. Chef Felipe is a loyal listener through the Odyssey app. Chef Felipe and his wonderful chicken soup, Jewish penicillin, have been helping me nurse this cold through the week, but I am feeling better. Thank you for those nice notes and those emails. I am feeling better, and I think the voice is a little bit stronger. So hello to Chef Felipe. And as always, we have lots of activity at Pearl Street Station Restaurant this weekend. I know that I always say it, but it is true. As Malden's longest running restaurant of 40 years, we have incredible staying power in the greater Boston area and the North Shore. So please venture over the Zakin Bridge and visit us. We have Chef Felipe, Chef Joaquin, Pizziola Muhammad, Pizziola Billy's going to be in soon, holding down the fort with my great staff, my 1209 staff of Jen, Nicole, and Dennis. So keep up the great work, everyone, and we'll be back shortly. And I see on the line we have Bob Hilberg on the line. Bob, how are you?
I'm doing awesome as usual. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you. Thanks for the call. I think from chatting with you recently, I think you are in Hingham, or you have something coming up in Hingham, right?
Yeah, Hingham. The Hingham Historical Society had a premiere preview of the American Revolution, the documentary by Ken Burns and his staff. That's actually going to be on PBS tomorrow night for the next 6 weeks. It's a 2-hour show, and it talks about the American Revolution from the beginning of even 1754 all the way to the end, where Benjamin Lincoln, a Hingham resident, actually received the surrender from the British in Yorktown. So it's pretty fascinating, and just a shout out to my cousin Cody, who was one of the editors and been working on this for 2 years. So I'm kind of wearing my historian Bob hat today and promoting that the American history is 250th. We just went through that here in Lexington, Concord, and Medford, and Paul Revere, and all that. But it's coming up on 1776 and 1976. Big things happening in 2026 around here in Boston, especially in Medford, where we're going to be installing a 6-foot-high bronze statue of Sarah Bradley Fulton. And there's sections of Medford that are named after her, Fulton Heights, Fulton Street. And so pay attention to our website, looking back at medfordhistory.com, and support us. A lot of people are just giving us $25. We've had over 400 people just give us $25 to support history and support a woman statue that we need more of them. We've got Abigail Adams in Quincy. It's time for Sarah Bradley Fulton to have her honor as a spy and as a nurse in the Battle of Bunker Hill, and she's known in some areas as the mother of the Boston Tea Party. It was her idea and a few other people to dress them as Indians so they wouldn't get captured. So there's a lot of history from Sarah. And after the war, George Washington came to her house and congratulated her, and Lafayette, actually, after the war, came to her house in Fulton Heights and said, "Thank you for your service during the American Revolutionary War." So
that's
a lot
great.
Of history here.
Oh, a lot of history, without a doubt. But I think from our past conversations, you have some South Shore roots, and if you want to let our listeners know about your roots in this area, the South Shore.
Yeah, so on my mother's side of the family, Stetson is the name. So Cornell Robert Stetson settled in Norwell and became famous during the King Philip's War, and the Stetson hat, Stetson shoe, and all sections of Weymouth and Hanover are in our family genealogy. So growing up in Bridgewater and Rainham and being born in Brockton, South Shore is in my blood. So, and now we're doing something in Medford up here for Sarah Bradley Fulton. So you got to celebrate all of Massachusetts, and certainly in the 250th anniversary of when this whole revolution started, and certainly the Declaration is going to be a lot of stuff.
Without
Not only
a
on
doubt.
Patriots Day, but also in July. So,
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, my friend. And also, too,
Absolutely.
we give that shout out to you being the New England Patriots historian, author of 2 books on the Patriots, Total Patriots, and also Patriots are doing pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. First place, best team, best league, best record in the league. Who saw that? Most people were thinking they'd win 8 or 9 games for the whole year, and they've already won 9. So,
Wow.
And they could have won the other 2. A few
That's
mistakes
true.
early in the year. Who would have seen that they might have gone undefeated? But 9-2 is spectacular, and they still got a couple tough games. But the chances of making the playoffs are 80-85% right now. So that's amazing. And Stephon Diggs has stepped up, really, and Drake May is really in the running for the MVP. What he's done with accuracy and just moving the team down and throwing just precise passes, especially downfield, to a variety of receivers. This place is alive, and the defense is just holding the other team so they can't run and keep the score low. 27-14, we'll take that anytime. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. So the whole country is celebrating, and you imagine if they win the Super Bowl like they did in 2001 after 9/11, the Patriots win on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence in February of 2026. That'd be spectacular.
What a script. What a script. Well, let's keep on writing the script, my friend, and I wish you the best with anything that's going on in Hingham. And final plug for the PBS series again. When's that coming up?
So it'll be on PBS. It's American Revolution, a document by Ken Burns and a few other people. It's going to be on TV, but you're going to be seeing a bunch of historical societies showing premieres of it. I'm going to one in Lexington on the 20th, and certainly we're trying to celebrate that Medford is a major part of the American Revolution, and Sarah Bradley Fulton is someone that we should honor. And the statue's already made. We're digging the foundation for it in Medford City Hall in the spring, so anything you can do to help us raise the final money to make this happen. But Sarah Bradley Fulton, and the website is Looking Back at medfordhistory.com. And any donation is great. It's a nonprofit, and we've been working on this for 5 years, and we're really excited.
That's
and you'll
awesome.
probably be seeing me throughout different things up here on January 1st in Somerville, and certainly on Excavation Day and March 17th at Dorchester Heights. So look for Historian Bob on Facebook and all over the places. A lot of stuff happening this year. And history of Boston, history of Massachusetts, history of America.
I love it, my friend. Well, Bob Hilberg, I thank you for the call in, and I want to thank you. Say hi to Millie for me, and we will catch up real soon.
We'll have lunch soon. Thanks.
You got it, my friend.
Have a great day.
You as well.
Indeed.
Take care, my friend. That's Bob
All right,
Hilberg.
thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Well, that's Bob Hilberg. Thanks for calling in. And this is show number 50, and it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be at WATD in the slot of the Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. Arthur is plugging away with advertisers. We have some things going on for the first anniversary special. More details will follow on that. And I believe next week we'll be speaking with Kathleen Keegan, who's a realtor with K. Keegan Realty. And she has a newsletter about Pembroke. And she's going to be talking about her expertise and her enthusiasm. She'll be talking about it. She'll be showing it. And she's the wife of Major Sean Keegan, who's on the select board in Pembroke. So look forward to that. But, of course, holding down the fort, keeping me in line is Tim behind the glass. Tim, how are you today?
Doing fine, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Living the dream, just keeping us on track and all. And I thank you for keeping me on track and for always being there, my friend.
Oh, well, most of the time I'm here. I do need a break now and then.
This is true. Do you have any vacation plans coming up?
Not for a while. I gotta save my time.
Okay.
Yep. I got a big trip in February.
Oh, really?
Yep. Destination wedding. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Very good. Well, we'll have to talk about that in future segments. I love it. Well, thank you again for everything, Tim behind the glass. Now, at this point of the program, Paul Ponders program, we have the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment with Techie Chalonzo Amos and Miss Shelley Wolf, global media firm owner of Toolbox Entertainment, Vice President of Technology Literacy for Pod Pro Entertainment, and a past Paul Ponders guest, episode number 35. Shelley, you're on the line, right?
Good morning, Paul. How are you doing?
I am doing well, thanks. Still living the dream, feeling a little bit better. Life is good in the hood, as they say.
That's good to hear.
Absolutely. Got all that. Absolutely. So are you back in this time zone after your trip to Japan and Hong Kong?
I am. It took about a week to kind of get back, and it's funny because I've never experienced that, and I've traveled quite a bit, but this one really took it out of me. So, but yeah, I think I'm back, and I'm on this time zone, so I think we're good to go now.
Absolutely, and I know we've talked about this in the past, and we really have to focus in on maybe one full segment on your travels. Now, you've been to 6 out of the 7 continents, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think it's Australia that you have not been to?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
and how many countries?
This, I think, brought me up to 52.
52 countries.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, so that's definitely another podcast and just talking about your travels.
Yeah, no, would love to. It's definitely a goal of mine to make it to all the countries in the world. So, those 195, I've got not many more to go, right?
Right, exactly. Wow. Seriously.
143, so here we go.
Here we go. That's quite the bucket list.
Yeah.
I love it. So, Shelley, you always bring us so many great tips and all, and I post them when I get online to the PS&All Marketing Group blog and all. But what do you have for our listeners in Paul Ponders land today?
Yeah, well, today I wanted us to really focus on sharpening our minds and using tech to stay mentally strong, right? As we get older, our bodies aren't the only things that need to exercise. Our brains do too. And the great news is that the same technology that we use to text family members, check the weather, or watch TV can also help sharpen our minds. So today's tech tip is about fun, simple ways that we can use our phones, our tablets, our computers to build memory, boost focus, and strengthen those mental muscles. I don't know about you, but just like walking, keeping our bodies strong and mentally active keeps the brains flexible and healthy as well. And studies show that regular learning improves memory, supports problem solving, helps with emotional health, and may delay cognitive decline. You don't need fancy tools, just to be curious and have fun. So I wanted to share some brain training apps and games that are quite popular and very easy to use options. So there's an app called Luminicity. It's short daily games to boost memory, attention, processing speeds. There's another one called Elevate, which focuses on language, reading, listening, and different math skills. There's the New York Times games or that famous New York Times crossword. I don't know. I've never been able to master that one yet. But
that makes 2 of us.
It's a great crossword challenge. People love Wordle. I have never really done it and been able to do it, but people love it. Connections is great for vocabulary and logic. There's also that Duolingo. It's a great way to easily learn a language, whether it's Spanish, Italian, French, sharpen your English skills. These apps also require only just a few minutes a day, nothing strenuous, and then you can just see the progress. Again, some of these apps promise miracles, so you want to skip those apps that say, we promise miracles, we will have memories like no one's business. But what you want to do is spend time finding ways to strengthen those brain muscles and learn something new. Tech makes things so much easier. I do something called Word a Day, where I get an email in my inbox. There's a new word a day, and I think that's really fun. So today's new word was sonorous, right, which is imposing deep and full of a person's sound of their voice. So did not know that's what that meant, but another new word in my vocabulary. So, and you have a sonorous voice, so there you go, Paul.
I resemble that remark. Thank you.
Yes, it's a good one. You could use YouTube for learning, right? You could learn how to cook, how to repair things in your home, repair electronics. Khan Academy is free. A lot of people think it's just for youth, but it can be used by anyone. They have free math, history, science classes. There's also MasterClass, which is also a great app where there's courses taught by different famous artists and chefs and writers if you want to get more in depth and really feel like you're taking like classes, but you're not going to school. Hit your local libraries up. They offer a lot of free digital learning apps and ebooks. Even spending 10 to 15 minutes a day helps keep your brain growing. Again, find topics that you enjoy, that you want to research, you're curious about. Then there's things like podcast learning and reading apps. If you don't want more screen time, listening still counts, right? Try out podcasts on science, news, arts and culture, storytelling, or heck, even a Paul Ponders episode where you can learn something interesting about people and what they're doing for the community.
That's true. Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
Yeah. There's apps out there like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast. There's great reading apps like the Kindle. And again, there's one called Libby, which is a free app where you can do reading and listening to improve your vocabulary and memory. Again, talk about your local libraries. And I don't know if people realize, but did you know that if you actually sped up some of these apps, like for listening purposes, 1.5 times of episodes, your brain will actually adapt to the listening speed. So it's also a great way to challenge your brain when you're thinking about learning language. I love watching a little bit of foreign films because that's a way for me to learn languages. So different things to challenge that mind. Social tech keeps our minds engaged. Connection is such a big, big thing for brain health. Again, even if it's virtual. So tech helps us with our video chats with friends, playing online trivia, join hobby groups, attend virtual classes using, FaceTime, Zoom, Facebook. There's all different types of hobby groups. There's online book clubs that are really great. I have friends who are hosting online podcast clubs. Again, learning from others and keeping those conversations going really also helps lift your mood. I know for me, I love, like in some of my downtimes, if I can't focus, I actually go play solitaire on my phone. It's very, I do these challenges to see how quickly I can do it. So it's a fun time. So again, I recommend a daily routine. Think about 5 to 10 minutes of brain games a day, 20 minutes of a podcast or an audiobook. Learn something new weekly. Connect with someone 2 to 3 times per week. Consistency is more important than the intensity, and I think that's really important to remember. So, again, quick tech checklist. Try something like Luminosity or Elevate. Learn from Duolingo or a MasterClass. Listen to your favorite podcast or discover new podcasts. Read from Libby, and video chat and join online groups. So this week, pick one new brain activity to try. Maybe a crossword app, a daily podcast, a game of solitaire. Learn a new language, keep our minds curious, and you'll feel the benefits every single day.
Those are awesome tips. And during your presentation, I just cannot help but think about my first wife and I used to play Scrabble. And Scrabble is great game and all. And I'm still traumatized by it when my first wife, Amy, had in fact beat me with at the end with a triple word score of tortilla. Okay, she came from behind. It was incredible. But anyways, Scrabble is out there.
Scrabble is a good one. That's a great one, to be honest, Paul, because online Scrabble. So I have friends I used to do online Scrabble with. They would be in different states, and you can play against them as well, or play with play the machine itself with the technology. So absolutely, Scrabble is a fantastic way to challenge your brain power.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So, Shelley, how do our listeners in Paul Ponders' world get in touch with you?
Yes, well, again, keep learning and stay curious and keep that brain sharp. You can reach us at info@podproentertainment.com.
That is super. That's super. I want to thank you again for being on this segment, the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment. And as always, we'll try to get these postings and all these great tips out on the PSNL Marketing Group blog. And until we meet again, my friend, we'll catch up with you real soon.
That sounds wonderful. Literally looking forward to it. Thank you.
You got it, Shelley. #Indeed.
And #Imagine.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You as well. Well, as Arthur Boyle says, it's not time to make the donuts, it's time to pay some bills. So let's hear from our sponsors.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakeesit Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you. Have you tried Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fried dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were 3 deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. The call-in number here is 781-837-4900, and you could also find us on the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. And if you're like my daughter Ann in California, you're listening to Dad right now. Hi, Annie. How you doing? And she's out there on the Odyssey app and also checking out all those other great stations. But she's become a regular listener of WATD 95.9 FM. And Chef Felipe, of course, is back at the ranch at Pearl Street Station Restaurant listening on the Odyssey app as well. And a shout out to all those nonprofits out there. If you're like Bob Hilberg, you want to give a shout out on your nonprofit, about your nonprofit or any events coming up, please email me at paul@paulponders.com. Now, listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. Now, my next Paul Ponders podcast will be dropping tomorrow night at midnight with Paul C. Swerter of Gotham Whale. I've known PJ for many, many years, and we have this we have a Sunday chat. We call it Sundays with Solano, and it's a really great chat. Meet for coffee at a local place or a local restaurant, and it's one of those things that we just talk about so many things. And PJ, Paul C. Swerter, has been working on releasing the book. His dad was Paul C. Swerter Sr., the founder of Gotham Whale, and he was the curator at the New England Aquarium, and he had to Cecil the Seal had to go somewhere, so why not go to PJ's bathtub at his home in Malden? And he wrote a children's book, and it's one of those things that's going to be released in the very near future. And also the podcast is about that, and also so many other interesting subject matters about whales and bats and marine regulations and all. So I want you to catch that podcast. So Matt from Pembroke, if you're listening, please log in at midnight on YouTube, or it will be released on Spotify at 7 a.m. on Monday morning. And I do want to give a shout out to Kate O'Donnell, who is playing in a charity golf tournament right now, so she cannot have her phone available. But Kate was going to call in and promote tomorrow night's film premiere, the Joey O'Donnell film premiere, which is number 41. And Kate is the daughter of the late, great Joe O'Donnell and daughter of Kathy O'Donnell and sister of Casey O'Donnell. And we'll be seeing Kathy and Casey tomorrow night at the Revere Hotel and then at the AMC Theater, where there's going to be a film premiere. We don't know what the film is, but it's one of those things. It's always a great evening, and it's a fundraiser that has, in fact, raised through the years, through the 41 years, hundreds of millions of dollars. And true credit to Mr. Joe O'Donnell, who is a mentor, a friend of mine, and just a great person. And Kate is continuing the tradition with her sister Casey and Kathy, and continuing with this film premiere, which is tomorrow night at the Revere Hotel, and then over at the AMC Theater on Tremont Street. So look forward to seeing a lot of family and dear friends tomorrow night. And also, I want to give a shout out to Mike on the North River. So hopefully he's doing well, and hope to see him soon. And a quick shout out to Coach Joe Gaff, Malden Catholic football coach. I played basketball in the Revere Park and Rec League way back when in the 80s with Coach Joe Gaff, and he's a football coach over at Malden Catholic. And over the past 2 weeks, I know this is South Shore based and all, but a shout out to Joe for doing a wonderful job. He's every police officer during the day, and he's the MC football coach, and I've come to know Joe over the past 10 years or so, and he just does a wonderful job with the students. And a shout out for a win last night against Hingham, and also last week against Marshfield. And I guess they have Oliver Ames coming up next week on the schedule, so shout out to him. And also, I failed to mention that I saw Tom Williams in the hallway during the exchange of shows, and he gave me some sound advice for a client of mine, and I'll be passing that along to my client after the show and all. But Tom Williams, I thank you for all that sound advice and for being a great lead-in to the Paul Ponders show. So at this point of the program, we have our new segment, which isn't so new. It's our second segment and all, but it's the Health and Wellness Survival Tips segment with Ms. Sharon Filliar. Sharon, you're on the line?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me back today.
Well, it's great to have you back, and I know you were on a singing gig last week, correct?
We had a couple of them, yes.
A couple. How'd that go?
Yeah. It went great. Thank you so much. It went really well.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to talk more about your singing expertise, your prowess at a later date and all. But I think you're going to be bringing some sunshine to our lives today with your topic.
Well, a little bit. Well, this is topic of vitamin D. And it's funny that you mentioned sunlight, because vitamin D is irradiated by the sun. It's actually, so that's why with small children, they like to bring them outside in the sunlight to help the vitamin D obtained from the sunlight to kind of integrate into our systems. But the problem is that because of our New England latitude, we don't get a lot of sun. So individuals that reside closer to the equator are better able, kind of geographically, to be able to take advantage of this vitamin D that is irradiated by the sun. Now, many times you hear vitamin D, but you say, well, why is this super important? I like to preface all the information that I'm giving you today is by way of the Cleveland Clinic and JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, specifically a study done in 2025. So all of this information can be researched and sourced by your listeners today.
Excellent.
Okay, so vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. This means when you ingest vitamin D, it is saved by the body in both the liver your fat cells, your adipose cells, so that your body can take the vitamin D as it needs it. Now, vitamin D is very important. Most people know for bone growth, right? Especially as we all grow a little bit older. But it also helps to guard against cardiovascular disease, respiratory illnesses, parathyroid disease, many things. Kidney disease, liver disease, Crohn's disease, celiac disease. Very, very, very important vitamin. So the good news is that if you go to your doctor and you get a blood test, your physician can determine if you're low, and then they give you what's called a bolus, where they give you a sort of super dose to get you up to speed, and then they put you on a maintenance dose daily. So sometimes you'll hear about someone saying, oh, the doctor gave me 50,000 micrograms. This is because the vitamin D is so low. The doctor needs to kind of give you a kickstart to get your vitamin D levels up. So now, interestingly, for people like myself who are African American, our melanin blocks this sort of irradiation of vitamin D. So historically, people of color generally they usually have an issue with maintaining good vitamin D levels. Second, people of Asian descent, and at the lowest rung are people that are white, non-Hispanic. But, however, again, living in New England, we all have a problem with vitamin D. So the question begs, well, how do you get vitamin D through your diet? Do you know, Paul? Do you know? Have you have any idea?
Well, when I think about, I just take a milk right off the right off the bat. Vitamin D, the whole milk. That's what I just think about.
That is the problem. Is many people have lactose intolerance and just can't drink a lot of milk. So there are a number of foods that one can eat that will help with that. One of them is fish, specifically salmon, halibut, mackerel, tuna fish, sardines. You also can get vitamin D from egg yolks and mushrooms. The recommended daily dose for adults is 15 micrograms. So, I forget the translation to actually, so when you purchase vitamin D in the store, just look on the side, because there is the potential of overdosing on vitamin D, and you don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. This is why I suggest to all of your listeners, when you have your annual exam, get tested for vitamin D. They usually do that. And ask the doctor or the nurse practitioner, what dose should I take per day? Should I take 2,000 milligrams? Should I take the 5,000 dosage? You just want to find out what the dosage is best for you. And I'm actually going to look at mine right here. So mine is 125 micrograms, which is 5,000 IUs. That's how much I take per day, which is what my doctor prescribed for me.
Interesting. And I really wasn't aware of the vitamin D benefit with the fish, with the salmon and the tuna, because I've always looked at it as my omega.
Well, omega-3 is something different. Vitamin D is a specific nutrient molecule that you want to ingest. So yes, take omega-3, but that vitamin D is very, very important, especially as we get older. Now, there were some indicators that can make you more susceptible to decreased vitamin D. This is as we age. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are melanated, if you are darker complected, also if your BMI is above 30. So individuals who weigh a little bit more, again, if their BMI is over 30, are more prone to have low levels of vitamin D. Additionally, kidney disease, liver disease can also add another kind of factor where you have low vitamin D, and also another thing with vitamin D it helps to guard against rheumatoid arthritis and type 1 diabetes.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot.
This has been really, really helpful. That's what the segment's all about, with health and wellness, survival tips, and
right.
And we're still looking for a sponsor. I have a couple of calls in. I was thinking
we'll
of
get one.
Absolutely, we will. Well, I was thinking of calling a psychologist and a proctologist who have a practice, and I guess they specialize in odds and ends. But
right.
We'll have to. Thanks, Tim. But
anyways,
yes, thank you. But anyway, so I'm sure we will. So how do our listeners in Paul Ponders land, as we wind down, reach out to you and contact you, Sharon?
Well, they can always contact me through your show, or you can go to the Fill You Off Fall Prevention Method channel on YouTube and drop me a line. I like these segments because I can sort of share with your listeners really important lifestyle changes they can make to improve quality of life. I'd like to mention additionally, vitamin D assists with calcium absorption. Why is this important? It's important for nerve transmission, muscle strength. Your heart is a muscle. It also helps with blood clotting. So vitamin D is a very, very important vitamin to take daily. Again, check with your doctor. Make sure you're not overdosing. Make sure that you're taking the right levels for your body type, age, gender, all of that, so that you can reap wonderful benefits and have lots of great energy.
Interesting. All good, my friend. Mm-hmm. Well, Sharon, I want to thank you again for being on the Health and Wellness Survival Tips segment, and we will catch up with you. Are we with you next week?
We sure will.
Okay, awesome. Looking forward to that for show number 51.
Much.
No, thank you. Keep up the great work, and we'll catch up with you soon, my friend.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sharon. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. And let's hear from our sponsors.
Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakisset Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you.
Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were 3 deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. The call-in number is 781-837-4900. And also, I forgot to mention earlier that Tim Scott Albertson from Project 142 said to say hello to Tim behind the glass.
Oh, hi, Scott.
Hello, Scott Albertson out there, Project 142. So thank you for that, Scott. Keep up the great work and hope to see you soon. Now, at this point of the program, we have the Community Outreach segment sponsored by PS&L Marketing Group and the Mortgage Originators of Works Credit Union. And on the line, first time on the show, Natalia Stico. Natalia, Nat, are you on the line?
Hello.
Hello there. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Good to hear from you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for holding on the line and all. And, at this point, we sometimes have your husband, Gene, on the line, United States Air Force retired, talking about the engineering, Infinity and all. But you have your own career, which is just so intriguing and all. And you are a professional opera singer, and you're making the rounds these days and all. And I guess you have something coming up in Milton tomorrow?
Yes, and I'm actually very excited about this opportunity. And originally, when I came here, I was looking for a pianist to learn some new roles, and it was actually quite challenging. But finally, I lucked it out, and I met the great and brilliant Tim Stila. He is on the faculty of New England Conservatory. I have been working for him for over a year on mastering new roles. And a couple of months ago, he approached me and asked whether I would be interested to sing a concert, which is called Sing for the Supper, which is a benefit concert. And the purpose of that is to support some nonprofits, and in particular, Milton Food Pantry and Milton Residence Fund. Nice. And that's a very brief story.
Oh, wow. Well, you have a few people on the stage with you. So many singers are really fortunate enough to be on the same stage with you. But who do you have on the stage with you?
So probably the real deal is a good friend and a magnificent artist, Todd Angeli, the Boston Bruins anthem singer. Probably lots of your listeners are familiar with, hockey fans mostly. And again, I wanted to give him a shout-out because he has a reputation of being able to sing only the anthem and nothing more, and sometimes crooner stuff. But you're going to finally hear him do some serious stuff, as we call it in the business, right? So he will perform both world-class opera pieces and some musical theater pieces. As far as I know, I'm not going to say which exactly, just for you to actually be surprised.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and please say hi to Todd for me. Todd's a great guy, and Todd is a frequent customer of ours over at Pearl Street Station Restaurant, and he's just a tremendous person. And in his range, he is really not just the anthem singer for the Boston Bruins. I remember seeing his show a couple of years over in Lynn Auditorium, and I'll tell you, it was just fabulous. His range, his crooning range is just absolutely amazing.
I totally agree, because I had the pleasure of performing with him in Los Angeles. And yes, apart from being an anthem singer, a crooner singer, turned out to be he has chops and he has the right capacity for also opera repertoire, opera crossover. So I'm just happy he finally gets the right stage and right audience for that. So yeah, just come over, and free parking, it's accessible seating, and it's for a good cause. So it's a free will offering, free will donation. You can literally go with for this community charities, which are vital also for people to actually have the meal. So I think it's a good cause.
Oh, absolutely. Well, keep up the great work on that. And also closer to home, closer to Malden, I believe you have something coming up in December with your Mystic Side Opera Company.
That's very correct. And I will be joined by another phenomenal tenor. His name is Brian Landry. Again, world-class voice, world-class personality. So it's a great combination of friendship and professional skills, which allow me to work with him. Unfortunately, I don't have much chances because he's pretty busy. But finally, we'll have a chance to sing together. So it's 7th of December, 2 p.m., Malden Public Library. That's the venue.
Okay, so that's going to come up on, December 7th.
Correct,
Right.
And that's more for North Shore people. But again, if you want to hear some great worldwide talent, because Brian is not the only one who's joining me. I'm also joined by a magnificent flutist. So her name is Susan Thorne Gagnon. She has a great resume as well. She performed all over Europe, and she's a part of the flute orchestra, which I got myself familiar with, but they're a little bit far away. They normally perform in Groton. And again, I met her doing a church event in December. I had to cover for someone, and without almost any single rehearsal, we just went and did the job. So she will join us as a third guest and fourth guest. Of course, any classical musical concert can't do without a phenomenal pianist. So our pianist for this time will be Alina Gelgast. She's originally from Ukraine. She graduated from Ukrainian Academy of Music. She performed also at a bunch of countries. I mean, I don't remember all of them, so I'll just say yes. She had a significant career. Now she works in Marblehead, so both as a performer and as a teacher. And I'm just excited for her to come to Malden and again, just to share her talent with everybody. And again, this concert is free of charge. There is no admission. There is no, I assume, even donations for that. So it's free. Everybody is welcome. And we're just happy to see you there.
That is absolutely fabulous. Now, just for our listeners out there, how could our listeners tune in or find you on the internet?
It's pretty straightforward. So if you just Google or put in your favorite AI tool, because it's a popular thing nowadays, my first name and last name. So my first name is Natalja, Natalja. That's the first name. And the second name is Sticco, Sticco. So put it in any AI of your own choice, or Google or whatever browser you prefer. And there is music on Apple Music, there is music on Spotify, there is a web page I have, there is Instagram. So whatever you prefer digging into, because people have preferences nowadays. So I will probably satisfy every demand when it comes to social media presence.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you are really just so out there in social media and all. And I just pulled it up, and Latvian-born mezzo-soprano. Okay, classically trained vocalist whose career spans grand opera houses, international concert stages, and now the evolving world of cinematic sound. So tell us about that. What's happening with cinematic sound?
That's a very good question. So it's something still work in progress. So it's a combination of what my husband is doing with Engineering Infinity and with what I'm doing. So the original idea is to bring this so-called the cinematic experience of the opera, like 3D, 4D, whatever it's called, right, on a bigger stage. And what I'm the thing about that is just to have the immersive experience for the audience, to have a grasp of the voice and of the music. I mean, I don't want to give away the secret sauce, right? Because another issue nowadays with opera is, again, people are trying to cut down budgets and they don't provide proper sets for performances. So we want to eventually do it with perfect projections, with the tools, with that technology which is available nowadays. So that's a very, very quick pitch about all that. Just stay tuned, right? I don't want to give away all the
Operators
secrets.
are standing by, and I know
if you want to just have a very, very brief pitch, so it's a combination of modern technology with arts.
Right, exactly. And when I think back to that presentation regarding Murder at the Malden Bank by Malden author Michael Clarity, it's one of those things, put that wonderful book about the first bank robbery murder in the United States, which occurred in Malden, and set that to opera. Just incredible. Shiloh's Razor, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and that would be phenomenal. So we are getting donations for that. We are working on getting the budget to stage it, and we shall see whether it's going to be a combination of actually giving this immersive experience the first kickoff. So whether we do it with this particular piece or we will go with the classics. So that's still depends on the funding we get eventually.
Right, exactly.
But that would be wonderful. We would promote Malden because people still keep on. Some people, when I say Malden, they don't know, and then I say Converse, right? And everybody, okay, I know.
Right.
So if we could get that would be another good thing about Malden to do overall, right?
Without a doubt. So again, tomorrow in Milton, who's going to be sharing the stage with you and Todd? Who's going to be out there?
There will be some singers from across the United States, mostly from the Boston area and Boston conservatories. There will also be 2 Asian singers, I believe, one from China and Korea. And for more information, just to see who is on the roster, just visit miltoncommunityconcert.com. So you'll find the whole singer's bio and singer's pictures, and also information on Tim Steele, who is organizing all that. Tim Steele,
the pianist, right?
Yes.
And that's the First Parish of Milton, 535 Canton Avenue in Milton. And that's the 11th annual Sing for Their Supper.
Correct. November 16th, 3 p.m.
And it's a benefit concert of opera, operetta, and musical theater.
That's very correct.
Awesome.
I will actually sing a very surprise song, but I don't want to mention what it is.
Okay. Well, I guess we have to go there tomorrow. Jackie and I are going to be at the film premiere, the Joey O'Donnell film premiere tomorrow night. So I don't know if we'll be able to, in fact, hit both events because we'll be going into Boston. But I'll be there in spirit, my friend.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Natalia Stiko. Thank you so much for being on.
You're very welcome.
As they say, break a leg.
Okay, so as we say, krepe or toy.
I love it. Thank you so much, Natalia, and say hi to Gene for me, and thank him for his service.
I will, and thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye now. Thank you. Well, this has been an action-packed show as we get closer and closer to rolling out the second season coming up in the very near future, and it's really been an honor and a pleasure to really be on WATD. And at this point of the program, I want you to stay tuned to WATD for the Memories with Ron Dwyer, the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. Ron, you are a true leader of the pack with great musical memories of yesteryear. So thank you, Ron. Listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. Thanks again to Tim, Arthur, Shelley, Sharon, Natalia, and Bob and our advertisers. But really, thank you, listeners on WATD World and beyond. Keep Paul pondering. #Indeed.